Hi guys, Ann here, and today we have a little car vlog. We're gonna do a little walk and talk. I feel really good today, and I'm like, you know what? I want to start walking again because your girl gained some pounds. I gained some weight, and it's all in my stomach. And I know I always start off and say, okay, let's do some walking, and I do really well, and then I just fall off the wagon. I know. That's when you guys need to read me the filth down below. You know what I mean? I got to keep it up. But the first place I got to go, and you guys already know, where do I always have to go to first when I'm in Lexi's car, which usually should just be my car. Now I'm always in it. The gas station. Yes, I have to go to get gas because she's like under a quarter tank. You know where the E is? It's that line right there. Oh my goodness. So let's get some gas for that ass. But today is Monday, and I don't know, I didn't go to bed till like after 2 or 3, I don't even know. And I had my alarm set for 8:37. And I feel really, really well. It's like I slept, thank you. It's like I slept hard. Do you know what I mean? Now, I always feel like this, but then in a couple hours, it's like, oh my God, I'm so tired, I could take a nap. Like where I literally just fall asleep, you know? Oh, I don't have any cash on me, and I hate using my card. Thank you so much. I've been telling you guys since I haven't been feeling good that Lexi, my daughter, you know, she's been cooking. She's 25 now, and she's really into cooking. Like, she'll cook a couple times a day, like, because she works overnights, right? Well, she just started her new job. So weekdays she works 3 to 11, and then on the weekends she works overnight now. Before, at her other job, she always just worked overnight. Thank you. Okay. And I literally lost my train of thought. I don't even know what I was saying. Hold on. Let me rewind because I literally lost my train of thought. Hold, please. Okay, I was talking about Lexi and her cooking. And she'll like cook a couple times. Like I said, now her schedule's changing. But she'll cook like a couple times a day sometimes. And it was like every day she was baking. Because she's so used to working overnights that, like, so 2 in the morning, if she can't sleep or what have you, because she doesn't go to work till like 3, she'll like cook brownies, and then she gets creative by making like s'mores, you know, by putting like graham crackers and marshmallows, which I hate marshmallows, and you know, like all this stuff, but and like just gourmet meals and all this stuff, and which I'm fine with, and trust me that I don't have to cook, but like food goes quick. And I'm like, Lexi, things are expensive now. You can't cook. If you want to cook every day, that's fine, but just cook 1 time a day, okay? And because a lot of times the food goes to waste because it's so much food that it's going to go bad in a couple days. Do you know what I mean? And then she's cooking again. For instance, like let's say she cooked yesterday and there's still food left over. Then she'll cook again tonight. And I'm like, Lexi, you got to wait, all right? Because it ain't like that anymore with the food's expensive. So she goes to the, I literally went all the way around and I could have went the other way. I was thinking I was going ShopRite, but I want to do the walk and talk first. And anyway, so she went and got some groceries, right? Because that's what we do now. We split the bill, or we go to the butcher shop. She'll do 1 week, I'll do another week, or a couple weeks, whatever. Or sometimes if we get a really big order, then we'll just split it. You know, we're working together a lot now. And she was like, Mommy, those prices are expensive, because she sees that the food is going and she has to purchase like the eggs, this, that. And I was like, yeah. So I was like, Lexi, you cannot cook every day. And it makes me feel terrible to say that. You know, but then like I said, you know, and then Lexi doesn't eat. You know, she's what, 109, 110 pounds? She don't eat like that anymore now. So it's like, I don't know. She just enjoys cooking, and she's experimenting, and she wants to learn how to cook. And I'm going to tell you something. She's becoming a better cook than me. 100%. 100%. It's really good. The only thing is some things like her spaghetti and different things, she adds a little too much garlic for me. Because she likes to use that minced garlic, the jar, in the, you know, garlic in the jar. Garlic or whatever it's called. And I don't care for garlic that much. A little bit is fine, but it's like, that's all that I taste, and I don't like that. And you want to know what's funny? I don't know if it's my age, because when I was around Lexi's age, and I always did all the cooking, and I would, I had kids early, and so I would bring the food to like my mom and grandmom or whatever, so they didn't have to cook, because they were small eaters, so a little, But like when I would make my chicken or whatever like that, my grandmother would say, well, it's a little salty, but me and the kids and everybody else really liked it, So I think now, so like I would make theirs separate, right? And I get it now that I'm aging. I can taste all the flavors. I'm like, oh, it's a little too much. It's like now I'm critical. And I used to get so upset when I was younger. And I'm like, well, beggars can't be choosy, And now I notice I do that with Lexi. And it's so funny how like the tables turn. Me and one of my friends, B, was talking. And it's like, it's so weird that you ever say something to your children and then you automatically think, oh my God, I sound just like my mother. That's how it is. On a roll. I even remembered bags. I know. I want to talk to you about something that happened over the weekend that I was shocked. You're going to be shocked, and I want to talk a little bit about it before we go grocery shopping. So, all right, let me go ahead and fix you up. I'll be back. Okay, and we're back. I don't know why. I noticed I've been playing with my hands. Get your mind out of the gutter. I haven't been. This is the park that I go to a lot with the graffiti wall. And I have not been here. Gosh, since the last time I filmed. How long ago was that? I don't know. I don't know why I haven't. But I really do want to start walking. I'm going to get up earlier because right now it's like 11:30. So it's nice out. But I want to like start walking a lot earlier and stuff and lose some weight. How you doing? And but the thing is, I'm just lazy. I can even, I hate that so much. I'm going to see if she needs help when I come back. But I'm not going to put it on camera. I don't do stuff like that. Anyway. And I have no excuse, I really don't. I get in these where I don't feel good or depressed or what have you. Like today, I woke up feeling really good. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to start walking and start doing this and start going places and start doing all this type of stuff. And then maybe tomorrow, I'm like tired, fatigue, you know what I mean? And it's like, I got to learn. My friend Lisa would always tell me, Ann, stop telling people stuff. Just stop. If you happen to go to Atlantic City, if you happen to go places, just blog it. But stop telling people that you want to do this stuff and then you don't do it. And I'm like, I know, but at the time I feel like I'm not lying to anybody. I really want to do it. And she's like, but you can't do that because you never know how you're going to feel. But I keep thinking, but if I keep saying it over and over again, the talk of the tongue, like maybe I'll have that open mind, like, yeah, I'll do it. And that's why I always say it. But I'm learning it's not fair to you guys. I am literally out of breath and I hardly walked. When have you known me just to walk to the graffiti wall and I'm out of breath? That's when you know a girl's out of shape. So let me show you the graffiti wall real quick. And I want to talk to you about something. Hold on. So this is the famous graffiti wall. I always share this with you just in case you're new, that I used to go here when I was a little girl, and even when I was a little girl, they would have this wall. And the city, I mean, you're not supposed to do graffiti on these walls, but they don't really say anything over here. And I think that is a good thing, because when you give kids or anybody a space to do things, that's when they don't mess up property. Like, I don't see a lot of graffiti downtown or uptown, however you say it, on buildings and stuff. You know what I mean? And this is what I wish different cities did more of this. Dedicated a section just for certain things. Doesn't have to be graffiti. But to me, this is art. I do. There's no gang signs, nothing affiliated, just drawing, just art. But why I really enjoy this is because it reminds me of my mother. My mother, I say this over and over again, she used to draw murals on like walls and bedrooms and stuff. She had a gift. So this brings me like close to my mother, And like I said, they've been painting this for years and years. And so what they do is they just, however they do it, they just spray paint over what's already here. Like right now, there's hardly any space here. So like sometimes I'll see people with ladders and stuff. And so they just paint over it. And I don't know how they do it. I feel like there's hair or something. And I don't know how they do it because you can't even tell it's spray painted for like over 40 years. Like, how can you tell? It's like when people do tattoos, it's like such an art form when they can cover up a tattoo and make it something you didn't even know there was a tattoo over, you know, like underneath it. It's like, what is that? It's Pinocchio. Speaking of, I get a text from a former friend. Let me sit down. Because I'm a pacer, but I notice when I'm vlogging, I make my own self dizzy. So I'm sure I make you guys dizzy. But anyway, so I get this text from a former friend apologizing and all this type of stuff and wanted to talk. And I seen the message, I read it, I have not replied. Sometimes you need a few days to think about it and respond properly because I used to be very impulsive and I would be like, F off, kick rocks, you dirty whore, you dirty bitch, or what have you. I mean, and I'm like, you can't do that. And I can tell I have really changed. I mean, going to therapy and stuff, I started at the beginning of this year, and I definitely can see a difference because, I mean, I remember when people were mad at me, I would just apologize. Sometimes I didn't even know what I was apologizing for, and I truly meant it because I didn't want anybody upset with me, or if I hurt anybody's feelings, I really was sorry for, but sometimes I didn't even know what I did. Or if somebody was mad at me and wouldn't speak to me, I would literally lose sleep because it was like, well, just tell me what you're upset about. What did I do? And then you don't have to talk to me anymore, but let me know. And I will hold on to that a year, 2 years, until I know what was the issue. Why were you so upset? And oh, you can see leaves falling. This is how my backyard looks. Hold on. Look at all the leaves. You won't be able to see it now. Of course, the leaves stopped from falling, but they were falling. So, like I said, I would always lose sleep. And anybody that knows me, that's ever talked to me on the phone, that really knows me, knows that's one thing about me, that I don't like anybody upset with me. Let me know, and let's talk it out. Another thing people know about me is, don't embarrass me, and, you know, like, don't kiss and tell and all that type of stuff, because my character means a lot to me, you know. And that could be an ego thing or something. I used to be the type of person, if somebody apologized, I'm like, okay, because I would think, okay, I'm Christian, we're taught to forgive if somebody apologizes or what have you. But then did I really forgive if I'm still thinking about things? Do you know what I mean? For the sake of just having friends? But are they truly friends? No. And how you can tell, and I'm learning this, is how people treat you when you're not friends or when they're mad at you. How do they treat you or handle the situation? Right? That's how you can tell. Do people want to destroy your character? Do people want... Let me see if I can show you now. Can you see like all the leaves falling? Do you see that? I'll try to zoom in and editing, but yeah, it's beautiful in person. I am learning something my grandmother always told me ever since I was little. She would say, Anne, because I always thought I was always popular and I had all these friends, I thought. And she would say, Anne, you're going to count in your lifetime when you get older, how many true friends you had in your lifetime. And you're only going to be able to count on your one hand. And I'm like, oh, yeah, right. Ha, 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 ha. And she was like, if you just have one person who's a true friend and a good friend, then you got a lot. You know, you have enough. She would say it's quality over quantity. And I didn't get it. And she would say, Anne, she's the one who told me that saying, just because people say it doesn't make it true. You know, I could say, oh my God, you're my best friend, I love you, and then hang up and talk shit about you. That means nothing. It's people's actions. Give you an example. I always talk about my best friend, Lisa. If she doesn't hear from me for a day or two, she'll text me. Give me smoke signals. Just let me know you're okay. You don't have to talk to me, because she knows I suffer from depression. And sometimes I just don't want to talk. Or sometimes I'm just really busy and then I'm tired a lot. So, you know, and you know, that to me means a lot to me because they care. She shows me she cares. Are you okay? My friend Jody, okay? If she doesn't hear from me for like a week, right? She'll say, all right, Anne, you're making me nervous. Is everything okay? that's somebody who cares. When I don't film or put content up, so many of you, the same people, will reach out to me and say, hey, are you okay? That means a lot to me. And I think what I'm learning with therapy and stuff, little things about me why I acted the way I did, has a lot to do with trauma. A lot with childhood trauma, but also adult things, being in bad relationships, raising my kids by myself, being in a bad marriage, not feeling like they care, not feeling loved. I mean, my husband never took me anywhere around his friends or anything, ever. We never went to a barbecue or anything like that together, ever. If we had to go to one of our kids' functions, he would take one car and I would have to take another car, not by my doing. He'd say, oh, just in case one of us has to leave early. I mean, we never did anything as a family, ever. And it doesn't make you feel good. It's like, what, are you embarrassed to be around me? Or what? It's just crazy. I would find messages where he would go meet up with other women at places and he would say, oh, it's business or what have you. It's like, you could be seen with other people but me. I don't know. It's very weird. The only time he would go out to eat with me or whatever, if it's my birthday, something like that, and I'm paying, of course. And so after so many years, I was with him for 12, 13 years. You start, for me, feeling insecure and stuff. People don't care. And so what I was doing was, it's like, I would show my friends and people I cared about what I was lacking, and then, but I would get my feelings hurt if they didn't do the same. And I'm learning, if I am doing it because I care, then that's all that matters. I can either accept the friendship or whatever relationship it is and stop complaining, or let them go if I don't feel that way. You know what I mean? Feel like I am appreciated, right? And I didn't do that. I would just hold it in, and because I wanted friends or wanted people around or wanted to talk to somebody, so I didn't feel less alone. And what I'm learning is, that's a me thing. That is a me thing. Some people just aren't like that. Some people, it's not their nature. It's out of sight, out of mind. Or maybe they didn't care about you the way you cared about them, or what have you. And again, nobody specifically, I'm just talking. I've been like this my whole life, I always felt like I had to prove everything. Even when I started doing the car vlogs and going shopping, I would show you guys, tell you, okay, I spent $238, and then I would show the receipt. And some of you guys would say, why do you always have to show the receipt? And then I thought about it. I remember talking about it in therapy, and it's because I was always, as a kid, not believed, or what have you, or with my health, because I was so young, people thought I was exaggerating, or what have you. So it's like, oh, well, I have to show you and prove it. And I didn't realize I was doing that. So in my vlogs, I was doing the same thing. I was see, look, I told you I spent $238, but on the outside, people don't know that's why I'm doing it. So you see what I mean? And I'm learning, like, that's a me thing. I don't have to prove to anybody how much I spent. If people don't believe me, oh well, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Now, I do always share how much I spent, because I just want people to see in different states how much things are, because I'm always curious. Well, how much did you spend? How much is that, like, in a state? Do you know what I mean? So that's why I do that. And I always show what I get, because I'm nosy. I want to see what people get. You know what I mean? But I'm just learning so much about me. And so now I'm even learning, like, no, it's quantity. It's quality over quantity. I have enough friends, and I have people in my life that even though I talk about, oh, bad friends, like I said, before YouTube, I'm 49, I'm almost 50, 49 years young. So I've had friends. So, but it's like, I am so happy with the people that I have in my life. And they have shown and proved to me that they are friends. They have stuck by me at my worst times, right? Example, my divorce was so hard for me because I lost my mother and grandmother and different things. And they were the only adults, like my family, that stuck by me, that didn't judge me from how I was when I was younger and stuff. And then I had my husband. That wasn't a good marriage. And I stayed because I felt like, Well, even if he's just home sometimes, and even that he goes upstairs and doesn't even say goodnight or whatever, at least there's somebody there if I need to say hi or just have a conversation with. I'd rather take that than nothing. This is how my mind was, right? And like, I settled. And so when the marriage was over, I just felt like nobody likes me. What is it, me? Everybody leaves? Like, what is it? But it wasn't. It's not me, but people I thought were my friends because, you know, it's like I was always going through things. But are they friends? Because there's so many people that are there when everything's great, but are they there when times are bad? That's when you know that they're your friends. And so like my friend Lisa and Jody and some other friends that I have, they never left my side, regardless what I was going through. And it's like, that's what friendship is. And so anyway, when this person contacted me from a while back, you know, I don't know how I want to respond, because I can accept the apology, but I don't want this person back in my life. If I have to be a secret friend, or I seen how things were when you were upset, or how you handle situations, or the things you said about me, no, I don't need you in my life now. You know, I don't want friends like that anymore. I'm not that desperate. That is the word. I was desperate. I'm not desperate anymore. I like who I am becoming. And always remember that you are worth it. If you have just one person in your life that truly cares about you, that's amazing. Because some people don't even have that. We look at these celebrities or people that have all this money, millionaires and everything else, and we're like, oh my God, I wish I could have that life. But are they really happy? Do they really have people in their life that care about them, or are they there because of the money or what they can get from you? You know what I mean? So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, that I was one to never believe in therapy. You know, like, oh, I'm not telling outsiders my business, because that's how I was raised. You know, you don't tell things that happen in the house or what have you. But coming from an unbiased person, and this person puts me in my place and tells me about myself, you know, to not like, it's not where I'm offended. Because there's a way with me, you could tell me about myself, but don't offend me. Because if you start offending me, I'm going to come back at you. Just don't take my kindness for weakness. But there's a way to say it, and she knows how to say it, you know, and she makes me think and do homework. And, you know, like she would say, well, what is it that you felt you needed to have these friends? What was it that made you, you know, and just different things. And it made me really think, like, you know, and anyway. So that was that. So like I said, give me some advice how I can handle that. You know, should I even comment back or just let it go and just say thank you? Move on. Like, how should I handle that? Because I do not want this person in my life. And I don't want to give any false hopes. And that's why I always say, when you have like friends, like two friends or what have you, and because I've had that happen where like my friends were arguing and I wouldn't take sides and get involved or really say anything, because what happens if they make up and they're friends? Then you look like an ass, right? Or if that friend, after they make up, tells you what that person said, and then like you get, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. And that's why I always say, when people talk or what have you, just because people say it doesn't make it true. And we have to stop believing everything we hear without proof. Or even if there is so-called proof, sometimes things are out of context or what have you in general. I give you an example. I was friends with somebody, and her and her boyfriend were arguing, and she would tell me all this type of stuff, right? And I was like, oh, fuck him. And I didn't like him. Come to find out, a lot of the stuff, I mean, it was her feelings, but it wasn't as what she was making it to be. And she was doing her own dirt. And so it's like, what I didn't know, you know, and so, and we were all friends at one time, and I stopped speaking to him. And then I felt bad, you know, one day we ran into each other and started talking, and he was showing me things, and I was like, oh my God, right? And so that's why now, and everything's through experience. When you're young, like I try to tell my daughter things, but she don't get it because she thinks she knows everything, right? As I did when I was that age. All right, I'm gonna talk to these people here, and I will meet you in the car because we still got to go to ShopRite. I'll be back. So I talked to those people and their stories and stuff. It just makes me so sad. And I went and got them something to eat, gave them a little bit of money, and just like I said, talked to them for a little bit. And now we're back. So that's what took me so long, because, you know, going to get something to eat and then going back and stuff. And I just didn't want to put them on camera. I don't want to film. When I see that, it bothers me so much to see people film homeless people. Now, I'm not talking about the channels that like help them, give them food, don't get like fundraisers up and help them out, get them off the street, or when they put them in hotel rooms and like that. I'm not talking about, but I'm talking about people that just film them without their knowledge, you know, or for their own views and subscribers and stuff. It bothers me. Or when people show somebody having a mental health crisis or something like that, like, why are you doing that? I don't understand it. So anyway, there's some people like where I live. There's this gate like behind my house that the city owns. But anyway, it's like an empty, I don't know how to explain it, but back there's some homeless people that live there. Very nice people. And I, a lot of times, bring them food and different things. I make big things of rice, like rice and beans and what have you. If I have some meat, I'll get, you know, but, and, you know, some people, they're just good people. They just fall on hard times, you know, and a lot of the shelters are just filled up and they only go for women and children first. You know, if you're a man, forget about it. But, you know, it's very, if you're an adult and don't have any children, you know, you're screwed, you know. You can't really find a job because you need an address to put. You don't have, like, it's just, it's a lot. And it's sad. It really is sad. So there's so many things we need to be thankful of. I say this all the time. Even when we're at our lowest, remember, there's always people worse than you, you know. All right, I'm at the post office. Let me go in here real quick, and then we're going to go to ShopRite. I know this vlog is long. I'll be back. All right, got my hand sanitizer. All right, let's go ahead and go to ShopRite. I'm just getting like a few things to hold us off. Alexi got a few things last night, but there's just a couple things I want to get, like, you know, at ShopRite. I notice, like, now what I do when I'm on a budget, hold on, I gotta concentrate. What I do is I just order online, because then I know exactly what I want. I look it up, I add it to cart, and then I just, you know, get it. They have the delivery. You know what I mean? And because I have the app, I get free delivery, you know. Well, not the 30 to 60 minutes, but the less than 3 hours, or when they can, it's free. You know, I save like $10 all the time, so that's good. But, you know, I have that Walmart subscription thingy. But the problem is when I go to the store, I like to window shop, where then I might see things. I'm like, oh, I can use this. Oh, I need that. You know, so if I don't see it, I don't think about it. Does that make sense? So I'm learning to do that now, because I'm telling you, the electric bill, like for the summer, is like $800. I'm not kidding. Living in Jersey is one of the highest electric bills in the country. Seriously, look it up. And I mean, it's like triple. So many people are complaining in Jersey about their electric bill. Think I'm kidding? Google it. Look it up. And so, and then I'm like, I'm canceling my cable. I have been saying this, but our cable, so I had cable, internet, and then I have a landline still, because the landline is all included, right? So it's kind of basically free. So I get it, but it doesn't make sense, because the cable that I have, if the power goes off, because it's a cable thing, you don't have a landline. So it, you know, it's stupid. But anyway, and that was, I just paid, it was $333 and change. So $334 a month. And so I told the kids, I'm like, look, I'm taking the cable off. That'll save me an extra $200. So we'll just have the internet. Get that. We don't need the landline. We all have cell phones. You know what I mean? And, you know, you have the Roku, whatever you say, Roku TV. We can get a Fire Stick or what have you, but we have the Hulu, the Netflix, all of that. I always kept it because I like the ID channel. And then on one of my members' lives, they were like, you know, you can get that on YouTube. And I'm like, what? And I looked and they have an ID channel. I'm like, you know, if I ever want to watch it, you know, but I like the new stuff. But still, there's a lot of things you can get with what people are telling me that they have, that it's so much cheaper. And I'm like, and then there's this thing called Red Zone. So like for football, I can watch the games and stuff. So, and now a lot of things are on Amazon Prime, a lot of the games, football games. So, or Peacock, you know. So I think I am. I'm going to cancel the cable. You know, we don't need it, and I don't hardly ever watch it. When I am downstairs, a lot of times, like I don't even turn the TV on. You know. So, and gosh, years ago, before I ever did YouTube, I just found out about YouTube in 2016. I mean, I heard about it, but I never watched it or anything. You know, I didn't even have like what you call those smartphones and stuff. You know, and so I was a cable person. And if somebody said, well, would you rather have cable or internet? Well, you know, cable. I like watching TV, but now I see it's so much different. And anyway, like, you know, and for the internet, you know, I claim it on my taxes as a write-off since I use it for my business, for YouTube, you know. But even my phone, you know, I use it as a write-off because I use my phone for the business. Anywho, so yeah, I'm like, gosh, it's like I need to budget more. All right, I got my bags. I'm getting a few things, and I don't know if I'll film in here or not, but I'll be back. Well, I'm embarrassed. I went to the wrong car. All right, so this is what I got. I spent $328. Let me show you. Hold on. So there we go. I got the big thing of here since Isaiah drinks it too. And that's basically it. I got 2 cantaloupes. All right, let me put everything in the car and I'll be back. All right. It was pretty crowded in there considering, you know, it's the end of the month and stuff. But not too bad. It's so funny because it was me and a few other ladies. We were looking at like the hamburger meat and stuff. Because, you know, I usually go to the butcher shop, but sometimes I'll get like, you know, just stuff here to hold me off or what have you. And we were talking about the hamburger meat. I'm like, oh my God. And the other lady's like, yeah, it's you save a little bit more if you get the bigger pack. So I'm looking at like the smaller pack was $11, but to get like 2 of them was like $13.39. So just for a couple extra dollars, you get the bigger pack. I'm like, yeah, that's true. And then I'm like, the smallest roast they had, no lie, was like $31. And it was small. I'm like, what in the world? And just prices, like the cantaloupe, I don't know where it's at, but it's literally like this. And they're $2.99, $3 a piece. But it's like, I'm like, everything's getting smaller and prices are going up. So I spent, it was like $330, but I'm telling you, you've seen, I barely got anything. I only got a couple things of meat. I got 2 hamburger things. And I got a thing of chicken. That's it. That's the only meat I got. And I didn't get any sides except a couple, like mac and cheese and just like a few other things. The rest was like vegetables. I did get cold cuts, but like the chicken, the bag of chicken, $17.98. I remember I used to get it it used to be $8.99. I remember because I used to get a few of them. Then I went up to $9.99, then $10.99, then $12. Now it's $17.98. I don't, what is going on? Oh, I spent $322.75. I saved $19.26, but it's just crazy. I know, I say it every single time. I know. But, again, I think about the homeless couple and the people that are in the park. And, I mean, at least I'm able to go get food. And I have a place to put it. you know? So I know I complain and all this kind of stuff, but there's people that don't even know how they're going to get their next meal. You know, there's people that like are struggling or don't like, don't have a refrigerator, nothing. I mean, you guys known me for a couple of years. When I go to that park, and you don't hardly ever see any homeless people. I might have seen like a shopping cart here and there, but not actually people laying there. And it's just like, it breaks my heart. We can, you know, I can get in the shower whenever I want. I could do anything that I want. If I want to be lazy and just stay in the bed all day, I could do that. I am so lucky. And I complain about my health and this and that. What I did to myself, except for I didn't make myself diabetic. That was the genetic. I got it as a teenager, you know. But like all this other stuff, like I did to myself because I didn't take care of myself, right? But and like depression, all of that. It's up to me if I want to fight the battle or not. I mean, just seeing that those people today and just talking to them really put life in perspective. I don't know. All right, I'm going to get off of here because it's going on 2 o'clock. And I need to get my butt home, put this stuff away. I want to edit, get it up. I need to film a members video. And I'm debating, I probably won't have time because I want to film a couple other videos for the beauty channel. But I know I won't have time. I like to film as much as possible when I'm feeling good. Because, again, tomorrow I might be like, oh, God, I'm not filmed for another week. You know. But I'm trying to, I want to try to walk in different things. And so that is that. All right, hopefully I get this up for you. Today's Monday. Anyway, please thumbs up the video. Make sure you leave a comment. Commenting helps out with engagement so much. It means the absolute world to me. Make sure you hype up the video. That really helps out as well. It helps YouTube promote my videos. And that is everything, guys. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay healthy, and most importantly, always stay you. Never let somebody take you out of your character. Do as I say, not as I do. Bye, guys. Jumping home, jumping.